Hi everyone. So sorry about the mic in the shot. I've had massive sound issues this morning and I've just managed to get it working, so I don't want to touch it or move it. It will just have to stay there. So if you're new here, I'm Damaris from Rainbow Vegans Rock, and today I wanted to talk about this item. You might not know what it is. This is called a Cora Ball. So I recently wrote a blog post about the plastic that's in our oceans and how much of an issue it is for us, for the marine life, and for everything really. So I'll leave a link in the description for that, of course. But on my research, when I was looking into that, I found that this was an alternative to the attachments that you can get to attach onto the washing machine. So basically, one of the issues in our oceans is plastic fibres, which when we do our washing comes out the other end of the washing machine through the drains. All of the plastic fibres from our clothes goes through the system and ends up in the ocean at the other end. And of course, the amount of plastic that's in our oceans anyway is crazy. All of the single-use plastic, I mean, you see it floating around in the sea and it gets washed up on the shores and everything. So that's obviously the most obvious plastic that's in our oceans. But the other thing that is getting into the fish and other marine life there is the very small bits of plastic which comes off of our clothes. So when I first went vegan, I checked a lot of the jumpers that I had, expecting them to be wool, but when I actually checked, a lot of them were synthetic. So they were man-made, essentially from a form of plastic. So a lot of the things that you see that are, I think as I was sort of drawing a blank, but the clothing that is made from a form of plastic is nylon, and polyester is a form of plastic as well. So all of these, when we wash our clothes, it sheds these fibres into the washing machine, which then comes out the drains through and eventually makes its way to the sea. And this is what we're finding, is that the fish and everything else, really, just as it eats like it does naturally in the water, it takes all of this plastic into its bodies. So obviously I'm vegan anyway, so I don't eat fish or anything like that. But for those people that do eat fish, you actually are eating exactly what the fish has eaten. So in a lot of the cases, that is the plastic that has ended up in their system and in their muscles and everything, and it's just scary. So there are things that we can do to help that. So if you have your own house, if you've bought your own house, I believe it's fairly simple to just add one of the water filters onto the back of your machine. So that is just an attachment. It attaches on a bit where the water comes out from, so that collects all of the microfibers basically, and you change the filters. I thought that seemed a really great idea, but I live in rented accommodation, so that wasn't the most practical for me. So when I was researching, I found this item, which is a Cora Ball. I got it from Babapur, I'm not sure how that's said. It's a company which has a lot of eco-friendly things in the UK, and they had this for just under £30, I believe it was, £29 something. And although this doesn't completely filter everything out, the design of it is based on coral from the ocean, and obviously coral's job in the ocean, the way it's shaped and everything, is to filter things from the ocean. So this is the idea behind this design, which does make it quite funky looking. But inside these little bits, as you can see, it's sort of spiky in order to collect all of the bits of fibre that comes off. Now I have actually used this a few times in the wash, but I've not had anything really come off of it yet. I've only been washing nappies, so I think perhaps when I do other washes with the rest of our clothes, then I'm probably likely to see more collected in there. So all you do, you don't have to clean it out after every wash, but as soon as you've got a sufficient amount collected in there, like it would with a hairbrush, similar sort of thing, then you can just sort of pick the bits out, or use tweezers, whatever's more practical for you really. But I liked the idea of it, and as I already use an eco egg myself, I'm already putting something extra actually into the wash with the clothes, so this didn't seem like too much of a difference for me really. So I thought that was quite good considering the price as well. I think from what I remember when I was looking into the actual attachments that attach to the washing machine, they were sort of £100 plus. They're obviously better. This is said to only filter, I think, about 30% of the plastic fibres, but it's still something, and I feel better knowing that I can use something being in rented accommodation to just try and help the problem really. I'm sure I'll leave some sort of update further down the line to see how I'm getting on with it. I think it's definitely something to think about. It's one of the more advanced eco-friendly things. To be honest, I think probably until a few months ago I hadn't even thought about the microfibres that end up in the ocean. It wasn't something that I even was aware of. Now that I am aware of it, of course, it's something that I wanted to buy. It's not a huge expense, and it's something that I can do to lessen the amount of plastic that's actually going into the oceans. And considering the price, just under £30, it's said to last 5 years or so. It's not bad in my opinion. It's not the end of the world, and obviously every little bit helps. And avoiding single-use plastic and all of that sort of thing is great overall, great for the environment, great for the oceans. I think it's something that probably most people can afford to buy. It's not a crazy amount of money. Of course, if you can't right now, don't feel bad. I mean, we are all trying to do the best that we can, and perhaps it's something that when you're in a better position financially in the future, you can think about it. So anyway, I hope that helps. It's just something that I've found myself that I thought I would recommend. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for my blog post and a link for the item as well. It's not an affiliate link or anything, just something that I feel is very important to look into, definitely. Okay, so if you liked my video, obviously please do like and subscribe. It does help, does really help me out, and I'll see you on the next one.